So the other thing Nate Taylor reported was during the game on Sunday when the Chiefs were down 17-0, Kingsley Suamataia was warming up on the sidelines to come in at left guard for Mike Caliendo. Those of you who don't remember, Kingsley moved from left tackle to left guard during the season, starting in the week. He didn't start in the game, but he came in and played the majority of the Week 18 game against the Broncos, where he played left guard, and he played left guard next to DJ Humphries, who's playing left tackle. Now, how hard is that? So, right, he was a right tackle, moved him to left tackle, and we moved him to left guard. Trey Smith's a free agent this year, and he's probably going to get paid a lot of money. Guards getting paid up the wazoo. I don't think we have enough money to spend on that. I think we need to be able to figure out and fine-tune things. But I think Trey Smith's going to deservedly so, going to get the bag, and he deserves it. After everything he's been through, medical red flags coming out of Tennessee. We drafted him in the 6th round. He's been everything, and for where we got him, he's been amazing for us. And he's going to get the bag this offseason. Now, I don't think we're going to pay him what he wants. So how hard is it to say Kingsley going from right tackle to left guard? Let's say we want to move him over to right guard. Is that a big change from left guard to right guard since he's just been learning that left guard spot? Is that a very big deal to change from left guard to right guard?
I don't think it's that big of a deal in a transition as it is more than it would be from like right tackle to left tackle. I think that's a lot bigger because of the space that you have in. Whereas guards, you kind of have this box, right? That's why guards right guard or left guard, center, those guys can play all those positions. And so I'm sure they've used him before at that position at right guard. I'm sure he's probably played that at some time. I don't think it'd be such a big deal. But, you got King Suma, you got Wanye Morris, you got, Norzad, he could probably play there as well. I mean, all those guys have the ability, probably could play, right guard if that's what they plan to do. And so is Trey going to be a casualty of, the cap and the money and things like that you had to pay him? Or maybe, you tried to, people were saying, do you franchise him? I don't, I'm not sure. But King Suma does have the ability to go to right guard. I could trust them guys playing that position, and Wanya Morris both. The thing is, at guard, man, you got to be an absolute monster. You got to be violent with everything that you do, because the big boys is in there. They're strong, powerful, and they push all the time. And so we just got to understand that those guys got to be ready. Can they handle that? And that'll be up to the coaches to be able to do. Do I think he could do it as far as King Suma? Sure, I think he could. Absolutely.
And I remember correctly from that Week 18 game, you actually said he didn't play that bad at that left guard spot. He was pretty solid during that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, because, like I said, it is the guy's right there in front of you, and you could get your hands on the guy quickly, helps you out tremendously. And this is somebody, I'm telling you from a tight end, if I got me, a 7-tech, 5-7, 8 technique as opposed to a 9, a wide 9, it's a lot different. If I get my hands on a guy right now, I'm going to hold the dog out of you. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to charge the way that you want to, just run past me. Because I can hit you, that's power with power. So it's force against force immediately, right now. Put your hands on them. Short set them. Where tackle, you got to kick step and you got to get back. Why? Because you got speed guys that's trying to, tear your head off. That's why it's hard. It's like one of the hardest positions to play because you're in space. You may not get any help. Guard, you're going to get help. Center's going to help you. You got a guy on the inside and outside of you. So.
Greg Cosell was on Colin Cowherd's show today. And he was talking about, he didn't say names, but he was breaking down our game tape. One of the plays on offense. Early on in the game, it was like 14-0. Mahomes found, or 17-0. Mahomes has a double move on a Worthy on the top of the field, and he's there. Mahomes has no time to throw that ball. Cosell didn't name names, but he said, I just watching the film. He said there's 3 guys in that offensive line who are not starting NFL. They're not starting caliber players in the league. He didn't name the names. I think I can guess one of them. The other 2, that was where I was like, huh. Well, 2, he's not starting left tackle. So right there, he's a starting left guard. He's not starting left tackle. So maybe that's for the one of them. But I'm going to guess Caliendo's the other one. He's not a starting left guard. He's a reserve guy. The other one, that's where I don't know who he's talking about. If based on play wise from what you saw Sunday, who do you think he was talking about from that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea. He could have been saying Joe Tooney, but that he's out of position because of the way. So I don't know if the play in itself. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but if he's pointed out and seeing the guys get beat, maybe you could
you could probably say yeah. I was listening to it. I wasn't watching it, but he talked about that. But so since Kingsley's about to go in 17-0, he's one on the sideline to go in at left guard. So I see a bunch of people comment on this on Chiefs Twitter, and obviously there's always funny takes and sometimes overreactions. But so the one thing is, if Tune's going to go in or Kingsley's going to go in for Caliendo, the fact that they did not put him in after being down 17-0, is that a matter of talent? Because if we want him to be a starting offensive guard going forward next year, but he can't beat out Caliendo, that's kind of a scary thing to me, the fact they wouldn't throw him in the middle of that game. Is that more they just want to keep the kind of the cohesion on the line, you think, just in your opinion? More of a keeping cohesion on the line, or is it more like, no, Caliendo's a better guard than you are at this point in time, and we're not going to go with you right now?
Probably they wanted to keep cohesion. And I think if you 2 feet in and you decide, look, this is the route we're going to go, okay? He may fix it. Maybe we get him a good talking to at the half, right? Get him hit the heads back in there, and it changes, okay? And if they have faith in him, he's done a pretty fairly decent job these last few games. It's like, you know what? Let's just keep riding. We keep riding it, okay? We don't want to do this and pull him out. Let's just keep riding and see how it goes. The problem is the D-line was so thirsty that them jokers was, man, I'm talking about putting speed knots on Joker's head. They were sitting there saying, Baldy broke one down when Trey Smith came over and got hammered by Nolan Smith on the kick-out block. Brody was showing that Nolan was doing that to almost every pulling guard. I don't know how many guys was watching that film, if guards wasn't watching that film with Nolan Smith, but that sucker hit Trey and stood him up. And on that play, Caliendo got beat too. And so it was like we started to have Pacheco trying to run in, but he had nowhere to run because Trey's neck got shortened up. Caliendo got beat right off the bat. It's a bad play. It's a bad play. So maybe they're just like, man, let's just go ahead and just go with it. So, shame, man. It's a shame. But I like what Jacob Donabauer said. I said, what did you say, Jacob, before that? He said, watching all 22, there were a lot, and I mean a lot of plays where someone was open and a few definitely deep bombs. Absolutely. There was. And everybody was trying to use the narrative. Well, the receivers not getting open. No, they were getting open. We gave him some time. We gave Pat some time. He picked them apart. When we gave Pat time, he made some good throws. I still go to the point of us not moving guys around. If you wanted to do maybe, like I said, slide protection or sprint protection to kind of move those guys, sure. Could have helped out too. If you want to do a little rollout, quick little rollout, short rollout, absolutely. But, the way that it was, man, it just didn't work. Like I said, I keep going back to this, Marcus. Hey, we could talk about pass protection all we want to, but daggone, how can we run the daggone football? How about that?
Yeah, that's play calling, man. That's something that, we talked about all year, how random it was. So since we're talking about play calling, we do have a question here from a few people about the play calling. Taryn Young, please speak in the quote, Nagy doesn't call the plays, end quote, argument from Nagy. I want to know if he can do other duties of an offensive coordinator.
Please speak in the Nagy doesn't call the plays argument for Nagy. I want to know if he can do the other duties of an offensive coordinator. So if he's not calling plays, and like I said, man, it's a collaboration effort. Suggestions and whatnot, I'm sure, because Nagy's been there before, whatever what he was doing before, he can still do. QB coach, he could do all those things. He was a QB. But Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I don't think Nagy can do as far as on the offensive side of the football. He could probably coach it all. Probably offensive line might be a little rough for him. Other than that, man, nah, it's true. So it's always, Nagy's not calling plays. Who's delegating everything? Andy, is Andy calling all the plays? I'm not sure of that either. I'm thinking, like I said, Andy might take over at certain points, or Nagy might, make suggestions, and he might be doing some things. But I'm guaranteed they are talking about what plays they want to run. Okay, what direction they want to go. So.
Yeah, Jacob Donald-Bauer. It's Andy's offense. They talked about it. Andy tells Nagy a code, and then he looks at his sheet to relay the play to Mahomes. Another question here. Joe E. Question. Nagy and other offensive coaches responsible for getting offense ready for a game? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Absolutely. 1,000%. He's the one that goes over the offensive game plan to all the players, all the on offense, all the coaches on offense. He's the one that's delegated to Nagy to do. When he comes in the meeting, he lets everybody know this is the game plan, what we're doing, how we're going to attack the defense, what everybody's role is going to be. So he's the one delegating everything to all the other coaches and all the players. That's Nagy's job as offensive coordinator. That's it.
What do you make? I've seen a lot of fans and our subscribers say the Chiefs need to hire somebody who's outside the Andy Reid tree to come in and kind of shake things up a little bit. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think they'll do that?
You might have a better time and chance shaking up Dallas's tree down there with Jerry Jones and changing his mind. That's gonna work for you. Nah, man. They can come in outside the tree and stuff, man. But I mean, hey,
I do think they'll bring in somebody who's been in the tree. I mean, Doug Peterson's a free agent right now. To bring him in and be a consultant, there you go. There's somebody.
Yeah. Look, Andy's open to new ideas. I'm not saying he's not open to new ideas and whatnot, but as far as like Andy gonna run what he wants to run. If he's trusting the offensive coordinator to run those things and look like the same thing, delegating certain things to certain players or the offensive coordinator, how much is it that's being called from those guys, right? So I know we say it's Andy's offense. Sure, it is. But within that, Andy's giving like this is what we're running. This is what our offense is. And they can pick and choose what they want to do. And I mean, they learn it. They learn it all from Andy. They learn it all from him.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be somebody outside the wheelhouse. If they do bring in somebody, it's going to be a trusted person like a Doug Peterson to come in. But yes, at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's like Jerry Jones. And Andy's going to do his own thing. All right, so Jacob Donald-Bauer earlier wrote this: watching others talk about things along with watching all 22, it's beyond head scratching on what happened to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl loss. Things seemed off all season, and things seemed more off in the Super Bowl. Appreciate the contribution, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you, man. And I'm DeBrown. Appreciate you too, brother. When you look at it, it's still the scheme. It's still what plays you're running. And if the defense they're doing their homework, they know what our tendencies are, they know our MO, that's what they're going to play. They're going to play the odds. And so they did that. And one of the things they made sure of was sit 7 in the zone and let 4 hit home. That was it. That was the game plan. And hopefully they make a mistake. And we did. We made mistakes. We got pressured. We got discombobulated. We got confused. And we didn't have nowhere to go. And we couldn't recuperate. It became to a point where we couldn't get anything going. And that's the most frustrating part because it's like, daggone, you look at the script, all the things you've done, you believe you have a wonderful game plan in, and that's what the defense gets paid to do, to disrupt it. That's why they say defenses win championships. That's the reason Tom Brady had a top 10 defense his entire time. Nobody talks about that either. We have a great defense with the Chiefs. Okay, I just had to say that because everybody want to keep talking about Tom Brady, which, the defense, he had the top 10. We now, Pat has a top 10 defense, okay, for the past couple of years. So I just had to throw that in there.
No, I like that addition right there. Amanda Brown, appreciate the contribution, brother. How much should the O-line coach own? Multiple seasons, the players picked by Reed and Veach haven't performed well. Time for a different O-line coach. This is back to the Andy Heck argument. And we don't take the Andy Heck slander around here. We like Andy Heck. Andy Heck went to my high school, baby. That's my guy.
Did he? Andy Heck would be high school?
Yeah, remember he was like back in the early late 80s, I think. He's like one of the biggest guys come from my high school. Him and the Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger Jason from the old TV show. Those are our two biggest celebs from our high school.
So you go to high school, them jokers on the wall like this, like
no. he should have a wall, but no, for some reason he doesn't get one.
Yeah. No. Hey, listen. I think Andy Heck does a great job. I think he does a tremendous job getting those guys ready. When it goes and makes the decision on who's a fall on, Andy trusts Andy Heck. You trust him. You can't play for guys. You can't. Guys got to be able to do what they can do through their ability. Does that mean that Andy Heck's the culprit why they didn't perform well? I think it takes every man to do that. And you can only play the scheme and plays that have been called to you. You got to be able to make it right. That's why you get paid the big bucks, because they want performance out of you. You might not like what you're doing, but you get paid to do it. Okay? You're a tool. You're a commodity. They're paying you money to run those things. So do you go get another offensive? You probably could, but I don't know. I don't know what that's going to change. I'm trying to think of how because we had Matuzak when he came in, because we had, when I first with Mill, we had Mike Solari. Mike Solari is one of the best offensive line coaches in the league, without a doubt. And then when Mike moved over to offensive coordinator, that's when he brought Matsu in. So, shoot, I don't think you mess with anything there. So, but like somebody said in here, I think it might have been Jacob. Running gets you getting into a rhythm. When I heard Andy say, "We'll learn from this," I hope he learns. Yeah, your running game has to be one of your top priorities, especially in a game like this. If you're not effective running the football, then you fall victim to exactly what we fell victim to. We got guys sitting back on their heels, absorbing blows, getting hit in the mouth, and Pat running all around the place, looking like the quarterback from what's it, unnecessary roughness. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle.
Yeah, no, I think that was a big part of just that we talked about balance for the last few years, and there was just we usually get mad when there's a little bit like 75-25 balance. There was like 90 to 10% pass run ratio in that first half.
Man, God dog. I mean, yeah. 70-30 at least.
At least.
And we ran 65 plays, offensive plays, I think it was. And 7 of those went to our running back to run the football.
Unreal, man. Well, hopefully this is a look in the mirror moment for Andy's play calling and some other things when they watch the tape with each other. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.